Okay, on this video, I'm going to explain what are congruent triangles. First, let's review what we know already. Congruent. So far, we've seen congruent line segments and congruent angles. What does it mean? Okay, congruent means having the same measurement. Here, let me type. So congruent means having the same measurement. Okay, so if the line segments are congruent, that means that those two line segments have the same measurement. If two angles are congruent, that means that those two angles have the same measurement. Okay, so in the past we've seen something like this. Line segment AB, and put the line segment is congruent to line segment, let's say JK. So what that means is those two line segments, those pieces of lines have the same measurement, okay? And then we also see, for example, angle A is congruent to angle K. So if they are congruent, they have the same length. So length of AB is equal to length of JK. There's a big difference between this notation. This means line segment, and this means length AB, line segment JK, length JK. And over here, angle A is congruent to angle K, which means the measurement of angle A is equal to the measurement of angle K. Okay. Now, new for today, new on this video. What is mean for two angles to be triangles to be congruent? Okay, so you're gonna see, for example, triangle. Let's say ABC is I'm sorry, I forgot C. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle. Beginning letters, let's say K, L, M. Okay, so the way to do it is this means that all of them are congruent. Everything will be congruent. All corresponding parts will be congruent. So let me draw a triangle. Let me draw a triangle ABC. This will be A, B, C. Let me copy the triangle. And that's triangle KLM. That's where we begin. Let's make it K, or you can see this. Let's start the same place. K, L, M. Okay. Now the way that we write it is very special. Angle, what this means is angle A will be congruent to angle K. So if I label this, A will be congruent to angle K. Now, angle B will be congruent to angle L. Corresponding pieces will be congruent. So B is congruent to L. And the way you write it the same order. Okay. Now, angle C is congruent to angle M. Angle C is congruent to angle M. So all corresponding angles are congruent, and then you do the sides. Okay, if I look at side AB, that will be congruent to KL. So AB is congruent to KL. This is KL. Now, if I look at the next two letters, BC is congruent to LM. BC is congruent to LM. And the first and the last letter, AC 3 tick marks is congruent to KM, first and last KM. Okay, well, this means the following: angle A is congruent to angle K, but angle A is not congruent to angle L. So basically, these are called tick marks. Everything that has one tick mark, all the angles that have one tick mark will be congruent to each other. All the angles that have two tick marks will be congruent to all the other angles that have two tick marks, and threes will be congruent to threes. Okay, and now for line segments, it's the same thing. One tick mark will be congruent to the other ones that have one tick mark. Sides that have two tick marks will be congruent to two tick marks, and three will be congruent to three. Okay, so that's what it says. And the way they write it is very, very important. They have to corresponding. A corresponds to K, and angle B corresponds to L, and angle C corresponds to L. Okay, so that's all you have to know. So let's do some examples. Example number 1: complete each congruent statement by naming the corresponding angle or side. Triangle DEF is congruent to triangle BCA. DEF. Now, here's what I want you to notice. D corresponds to B. One tick mark to one tick mark. Notice D and B. Now, E corresponds to C. E has two tick marks. C better have two tick marks. And F has three tick marks, and A has three tick marks. Okay, now if you look at the first two letters, DE will be one tick mark, and this will be one tick mark. BC corresponds. Now the last two letters, EF corresponds to two tick marks. That corresponds to CA has two tick marks. Okay, so they're asking me for DE. Now DE will be right here. This is D. Now, D corresponds to which of these sides? Now, the way you do it is, who has one tick mark? Which line segment has one tick mark only? He has two, he has three, he has two. One. So this is corresponding. So my answer right here will be B, line segment BC. And that's it, I answered the question. The line segment DE is congruent to line segment BC. And that's it. You answer the question already. Okay. Next problem is the following. Next example is the following. Mark the angles and such of each pair of triangles to indicate that they are congruent. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to do it this way. N is the first letter. Now I want to go to the first letter over here. So N corresponds to N. NML, NML, they're talking about this triangle. Angle N is congruent to, if you look at NTU, N corresponds to N. So those are congruent one tick marks. Now, look at the letter in the middle. M corresponds to T. So on M, I'm going to put in two tick marks. 1, 2, and on T I'm going to put two tick marks. 1, 2. Okay. Now the third letter is angle L and angle U. So on angle L I'm going to put three tick marks. 1, 2, 3. On angle U I'm going to put three tick marks. 1, 2, 3. Now I have to do the sides. The way you do it is you do the following. Line segment NM corresponds to line segment NTU. So NM is this side, and that is congruent to NT. This is NT. Okay. Now, if I look at the last two letters, okay, ML, here's ML. You put two tick marks, and that is congruent to TU. TU will be this one. Now lastly, it's hard to draw the line, but you look in the first and last letter. First and last letter is NL. NL, I'm going to put three congruent tick marks. 1, 2, 3, and that will be congruent to TU. TU, I messed up somewhere here. and T, and then should be TU, and then NU. NU be 1, 2, 3. Okay, so all the angles that have the same tick marks, they should be congruent, and all the sides that have the same tick marks, they should be congruent. Okay, and the way they wrote this is no accident, and corresponds to N, M to T, and L to U. Okay, that's what you have to do. Put the tick marks, and that's it. You got it. Okay, last example. It says the following: write a statement that indicates that the triangles in each pair are congruent. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write one triangle is congruent to the other triangle. Now, who you start with, it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to start with this side over here. I'm going to put that one tick mark, P, angle P. Now, that's one tick mark in here who has one tick mark. That's J, so N corresponds to J. Now I'm going to use the two tick marks. Angle Q. Q corresponds to who has two tick marks over here. Angle I has two tick marks. And then three tick marks will be R. And R on the left side. Three tick marks on the right hand side will be K. And that is a congruency statement. Angle PQR is congruent to angle JIK. Okay, that's what they ask you. Write the congruency statement, and that's what I did. Angle PQR JIK. Now it doesn't matter your classmate or your neighbor can have this different order, but P has correspond to J, and Q has correspond to I, and R has correspond to K. So what I mean is, for example, your neighbor or your classmate could have a different order, but they're the same. Let's say someone wrote Q P R. Well, that has to be the same as I J K. Okay, I J K. So I missed away. This should be 9. I J K. Now it doesn't matter the order you wrote them. Is my P corresponds to J. My P right here corresponds to J. Q corresponds to I. Q corresponds to I. And R corresponds to K. So the order doesn't matter. The thing that matters is they have to correspond. They have to correspond to each other. It doesn't matter how you write them, as long as they correspond to each other. Okay. So try the homework. You should be able to finish in class. There should be no homework out today. Okay, no homework. Thank you very much.